Well, hey guys, I want to introduce a couple people to you that I've come to know. So I'm obviously not standing in front of my premiere, but over the years I've had the opportunity to share many bucket list flights with you guys. So I get excited when I hear about somebody doing something that I would be interested in doing as a bucket list item. And that's exactly what these two guys are doing, along with their third friend who's not here today. But Mitch, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you guys are up to?
Okay, so what we're up to is it's the flight to 48. Calvin and I were planning a trip to touch down in all 48 contiguous U.S. states. And we plan on doing this for ACE Academy. And Indianapolis ACE Academy is a program to introduce and educate middle and high school students in aviation.
So Mitch and I met in our real estate class at the beginning of our senior year, which is this past August. As well as the other member of our team, Adam.
Okay, great. So and then how did you guys get involved with ACE?
So Mitch and I obviously realized that we were both pilots and had an interest, and Adam has also had an interest in being a pilot. He just doesn't have his license yet, and he's hoping that this trip will kind of spur his interest in actually gaining his license. But basically, we wanted to do some kind of trip, and we wanted to do it for something bigger than just ourselves. Our friends and family really made it clear that this is a pretty unique opportunity that it can help a lot more people.
And I got involved with that this summer at Indianapolis Airport Authority, and I met the director of this program named Brian Lynch, and I got to work really closely with him in the camps. So when we were, trying to figure out what cause can we do this for, he was a great contact and a great guy who's always looking to help kids. And I knew that this being an aviation trip, it would just tie in really well. And it would allow us to create a trip to help their organization and really let that program shine.
Yeah, that's outstanding. In stark contrast to me, who's always flying around for my self-gratification, you guys are an inspiration to me about giving back to the community, which is what I really love about what you guys are doing. What I try to do in my videos, you guys are actually, putting feet on the ground, wings in the air, going out and raising funds for these guys,
right?
Which is, going to be a significant investment. So, you guys are both pilots.
Yes.
So Mitch, tell us a little bit about your flying background.
Okay. So I got involved in aviation at about 15, and my grandpa was a pilot himself. So I had some old King Schools VHSs that I used to watch.
Nice.
And took my first lesson at 15, was hooked, and was able to solo on my 16th birthday. And then got my private on my 17th.
Yeah.
And then since then, I've just attained commercial license with my instrument rating, and accumulated about 280 hours so far.
Very nice. And Calvin, how about you?
And for me, like Mitch said, my grandfather was also an inspiration. He was a fighter pilot in the U.S. Air Force for about 30 years.
Awesome.
So he did pass away about 12 years ago, unfortunately. So I was pretty young, obviously. I didn't really get to speak with him with the conversations with the knowledge of aviation I have now.
Right.
But I got involved mainly at the end of high school. I took a discovery flight.
Yes.
Loved it, obviously, which I encourage everyone to do.
Yep.
And then I rolled into my private training and obtained my private license. I don't have my instrument rating, and that's something that I'm really using this trip. Learn a lot from Mitch as well as Adam's going to learn kind of through both of us about private. And I have about 120 hours right now.
Yeah, you guys have great aviation background stories. That's kind of how I started out, soloing at 15, and our soloing at 16, and pilot pilots at 17, and
solo
you're well on your way. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we were talking about the 182 landing in all 48 contiguous U.S. states. Hour-wise, that's how many flying hours do we think?
Okay, so we're thinking between 65 on the low end and 80 on the high end, depending on what kind of delays we're working with.
It's very weather dependent, obviously.
Yeah,
We're not planning to go more than probably 10, 11,000 feet. So we can't climb over any big thunderstorms or anything like that. And obviously, everyone in aviation respects weather, and that's what we've picked the minds of a lot of people like you who have aviation knowledge and so much of it that just said weather is really what you have to pay attention to.
Oh, absolutely. So as far as funding this thing goes, from what I understand, you guys are funding the trip essentially out of your pocket.
That is correct.
And then you do have a GoFundMe page when all those proceeds are going to ACE.
That is correct.
So where does that page live? And for those of us who want to get on board and help you guys fund this, how do we do that?
So the GoFundMe, the easiest way to get to it is to visit flight to48.com. and there's a tab that says donate now. It takes you directly to our GoFundMe, and you can donate to Ace Academy for this cause, and it goes directly to them. All 100% of the proceeds go to Ace Academy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Calvin, as far as following along on the trip, you guys are on Facebook, right?
We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we'll be constantly keeping updates for the people who want to follow along to see where we are.
Okay.
And that's really why we're so excited to have Adam with us too. Unfortunately, he's going to be here today, but he's going to take the primary role of making sure that the documentation is all updated and just providing some kind of like tangible thing that people can look at who want to follow along and say, oh, they're in California, you know, they're in Wyoming. Look at this awesome picture of the Golden Gate Bridge, that kind of thing.
So you guys are actually taking off this Sunday, May 6th.
Coming up
So
really fast.
down in the info section on this video, I post all the links we just talked about so that you guys can all follow along like I'm going to be doing and watching their bucket list trip, all 48 states. I mean, that's pretty cool. I have not landed in all 48 states, so you guys are one up in there. All right,
Try. You got a faster airplane though.
Well, yeah. But, you know, it's great meeting you guys. You're an inspiration to me who, you know, wants to promote aviation, and you guys are doing an awesome thing. I hope that all my viewers are able to get on board, and, you know, no donation is too small. I mean, this is a shameless plug. This is a good cause, and I hope everybody can get on board and send a little bit of money over to ACE and follow along on this trip, because it's going to be a lot of fun. So, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.